Well, welcome to the Mendota Ranch. Today we've got a little different deal. So we got Clarendon College coming. It's the ranch and feedlot operation. So in 1987, 88, I went through this program, and it's a really good program for guys that are going into the ranching world. My son went through it, and then of course he went on to college and then went on to the ranch feedlot there at TCU too. But it's a really good school, and I wanted to kind of bring it up on YouTube so y'all can kind of, if you're thinking about maybe a little different twist to college, this is a good deal for y'all. So, anyways, it's Clarendon College ranch feedlot operations. They're just now pulling up, so we'll go see what they got to say. There's a lot of other opportunities out here to make a lot more money or as much money. So you can have multiple things going on. So I want to kind of show you that and tell you the different things that I've done. Everything's got a life cycle. And you got to know when to call it, right? So like say the deer cloning, we're cloning lots of deer. Well, then Texas Parks and Wildlife comes in here and says, hey, we're prohibiting deer cloning, and we're prohibiting, and all the clones you've ever cloned have to be quarantined. Even though the Texas legislators shutting them down as fast as they can, they've already killed my business. So you got to know when to call it. So you call it, It's like, don't cry about it, just call it, right? For instance, when I was in the reset mare business, I was doing, at one time I had, 2,500 head of reset mares, and we were just doing embryos and then ICSI and then the cloning. Well, back then I was the only game in town, back in the early 2000s, and I was charging $5,000 per embryo. Well, then you move along where every Tom, Dick, and Harry's in here now, and now you can go get an embryo done for $2,500, right? So at some point you got to call it when you say, hey, the life cycle of this program is now dead. Let's move on. And so that's where don't let it drag your ass down with him. And so every time you come up with a new idea and a great idea, be ready for the next one, right? Well, I want to just kind of walk around and show you some stuff, and I think as we walk around you'll see different stuff that we've done and all that. Used to my day would be I'd palpate 100 or 200 mares in the morning and come over here, catch about 6 or 8 colts, and then go working colts, and then we'd be gone on weekends showing. And that's kind of, it's a fun deal, but it doesn't make any money. And in the world of the ranch deal, you got to make money. So my mind is set around something that's like, okay, how do I convert this into passive income? So take a reset mare. You order a reset mare from me. I go out there. I got a little direct income, direct labor, because I'm actually checking the mare. Then the mare goes away, and somebody else is doing all the work putting the embryo in the mare. So that's passive income. I'm up here taking a nap, drinking whiskey, whatever it is, and somebody else is working for me. They're making my mare make money. That's passive. That's how you make money. Direct income. So my dad was a medical doctor, a very successful medical doctor. Had like 48,000 patients right here in Canadian. But how much money do you think he made when he was on vacation? Zero, right? So now my granddad, he was an investor. He invested in oil and gas. He invested in land and stuff like that. He could go to Vegas and poop off a couple $100,000. Well, it didn't bother him because he probably made $400,000 while he was gone because he's got all this passive income. A reset mare was just a killer mare, right? So I would go buy essentially a gentle killer mare. I'd buy a killer mare. She's on her way to the killer plant. The truck would come by here. I would go through the mares and say, yeah, she's young enough. She's not just completely stupid crazy. She might be stupid, but she's not crazy. And I can make her work. And so I had 2,500 of them, and how I set that business up is I would line these mares up for other breeders. So they would call me and they go, Jason, I need 18 head of mares. I need 5 of them ovulating today. I need 5 of them ovulating in 2 days, and 5 of them ovulating later in the week, and then give me 3 OVs. So I was like, all right. So I'd go through an old sound 100 mares, and I'd line this up, and then I'd lease them for $1,500. and they'd take my mare, they'd put an embryo in it, and then they'd get it pregnant, and they'd bring my mare back a year and a half later. So they'd pay me $1,500 to feed my mare for a year and a half. Now, if they didn't bring my damn mare back, they owed me another $1,200, right? Because it's still my damn mare. I just rented it. I didn't sell it to you for $1,500. I just rented it, right? So then you had 2,500 mares. Well, that means half of them are gone half the time. The other half would be rolling back in. So my ranch essentially sat empty all summer long because I'd be shipping mares out all summer, my 1,000 or 1,200, and then in the fall, the 1,000 and 1,200 from the year before would roll back in, and then I'd start setting them up and immediately start shipping them back out in February. So I did that for 25 years. And it was a good business. I mean, it made a ton of money. It was a lot of work. I mean, anytime you got 1,000 plus head of mares running around, you got plenty of shit to do. I've been flying. I started flying in 1994, and I really enjoy flying. I mean, it's just something I enjoy doing. So I don't hire the flying part out. If there's any kind of direct income, it's because I enjoy this part of it. You go into the NRCS office and it's like, hey, what's the problem? They go, well, we don't have anybody that can spread spike. It's like, okay, let me solve the problem. I'll spread spike. It doesn't cost me nothing. So essentially, I got a bucket and a GPS. I can do 1,000 acres to 1,500 acres easy in a day, spreading spike. Well, we just finished up talking to the Clarendon College guys. We talked about all the opportunities out here on the ranch. I think it was a pretty good class. So don't forget to subscribe, like, and don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Thank you. See ya.